Starting from pole position is a great opportunity for Smells Like Weed to take control of the race. Jack M Team is holding down the fort in second place.
Big things expected for Jack M Team today.
Sunoiler is placed in third.
They are in a good place to mount a good challenge come the first corner.
Watch out for Mr. Bang, starting from the green luminescence beckons an Odyssey. As they hustle and jostle, it's a dance of the intellect and instinct.
Now, here's where the real skill shows. Gotta hug them curves and keep that throttle down.
Ain't that the truth? It's like dancing, one wrong step and you're done.
All these cars, all packed in like sardines, takes more than just guts to make it out clean.
Right you are. It's a pressure cooker out there. As we watch the drivers fight it out in the first lap, I can already feel that this is going to be an epic race. It's a dynamic landscape out there. Jack M Team's shift to third is testament to that. A brilliant maneuver from Jack M Team, who has just moved up the field. It's going to be tough. Jack M Team is a master at defending their position. Is there enough time for Sunoiler to make a move? They're going to be even more determined to hold on to that position. Oof, if Joe Ozzy was a kangaroo, they'd be roadkill by now. Come on, mate, put some pep in that step. Buckle up. Sunoiler is all over Jack M Team like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action? An impressive showing from Sunoiler, who has gained positions and left Jack M Team in the dust. Blimey, Sunoiler's cranking up the downforce, making every newton of force count. That gap's shrinking faster than my wallet at the pub. Mate, Sunoiler's got a stretch ahead that's longer than the Nullarbor. Going to need more than a tinny to bridge that expanse.
It's like fishing without bait right now. They're not going to catch much of this rig. They certainly aren't going to be close enough to mount any kind of challenge soon unless it's down to a mistake from your view.
It looks like Mr. Bang is pushing hard to catch up to Joe Ozzy. The gap is over a second, but Mr. Bang is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Joe Ozzy?
Well, shoot, if Mr. Bang was any more laid back, they'd be horizontal. Reckon they're daydreaming of those cheerleaders again?
I've made some questionable life decisions, but incident alert, maybe Smells Like We's got a drop bear in the cockpit, cause that move was bonkers.
Dang. Smells like We's swerving around like me chasing a sale at the car parts store. Always ends up being a wild ride.
Tricky. Smells like We's got more ground to cover than I do at the family barbecue when Auntie Sharon's had one too many. Good luck, mate. Mr. Bang's more lost out there than I was after a night at the Gold Coast. And at least I woke up with a kebab in hand. Oh mate, Joe Ozzy's impersonating a lost tourist. Did someone forget to tell them it's a race, not a bushwalk?
Whoa Nelly, Looks like you've been watching too much NASCAR, trying to drift on an F1 circuit.
If Mad Bull goes any slower, they'll join me in my failed dreams collection. Front row seats available. Fair dinkum, Mad Bull is getting a wriggle on. The gap to Jack M team is now down to a whisker at 1.3 seconds. So, when you were racing, ever have to do the old nature call dash during a red flag?
You mean a pit stop for the driver and not the car? Once or twice, you learn to time your drinks, and hope for a long caution. It doesn't always work out though.
The gap between Mad Bull in second and Jack M team remains over a second, but Mad Bull is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close the gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 14 minutes? This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Sunoiler will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops.
You ever been to a school reunion and thought, what happened to that guy? Well, I'm looking at Sunoiler, I'm thinking the same.
The gap between Sunoiler and Joe Ergu is fading faster than the last rays of the outback sun.
This is where the race gets really exciting. Both drivers will be pushing to the limit to gain the advantage.
Fantastic racing on show here today, and it's not just the top drivers who are impressing us. Even the drivers at the back of the pack are putting up a good fight, battling it out for every position.
It's a testament to the level of competition at AssettoCorsaFriends. Even the smallest mistake can cost you valuable seconds, or even lead to a crash. But these drivers are up to the challenge, and they're giving it their all. It's clear that AssettoCorsaFriends really is the place to be for top quality racing.
It's a close race between Sunoiler and Joe Ergu in fifth.
When I was racing, we had a saying, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. Sunoiler is definitely living on the edge today.
Big gains for Sunoiler as they move up the field, leaving Joe Ergu behind.
Definitely, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and anything can happen. Sunoiler needs to keep driving with focus and intensity.
You know, Al, during a long race like this, how easy is it for a driver to experience a lapse in concentration?
It can be quite easy, Rob. With so many factors to consider and the intense focus required, even the most experienced drivers can have a momentary lapse. That's why mental training and staying in the zone are so important.
Mad Bull is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a tightrope between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play. The stopwatch doesn't lie, and the shrinking gap is telling a tale of a hunter closing in on its prize.
Looks like Smells Like We is trying to chase down Mad Bull, but right now it feels a bit like my attempts at dieting. A lot of hard work with slow results.
It's going to be tough for Smells Like We, as Mad Bull seems to have found their rhythm. But anything can happen in racing, and we've seen Smells Like We pull off some impressive moves before. I'm excited to see if they can make it happen again.
Now, that's what hold on a second, that won't be ideal for Sunoiler.
Well, slap my head and call me silly. Sunoiler just made a doozy of a blunder.
As the laps wind down, the hunt intensifies. Jack M team is lurking, ready to unleash an overtaking masterclass on Mad Bull. Jack M team just blitzed past Mad Bull like they were standing still.
If this were chess, I'd say Jack M team just put Mad Bull in check. Brilliant move.
Everyone's on the edge of their seats. Or in my case, on the edge of spilling my coffee. Smells Like We is getting closer to Mad Bull, and I'm getting closer to needing a towel. Watching Joe Erg try to close that gap on Mr. Bang is like watching someone try to catch an ice cream truck on foot. Hope they've got good shoes.
Speaking of rhythm, have you heard Mr. Bang's favorite song? Maybe you can play it to distract them and close that gap. Just a thought.
It's all about consistency. Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Well, Jack M teams decided to give the local wildlife a closer look. I hope the drop bears didn't get to them. It's the classic cat and mouse game, but instead of cheese, the prize is a racing position. Can Mad Bull steal it from Jack M team? Fantastic move from Mad Bull, who has just gained a position.
I tell ya, Mad Bull's hotter than a peppered pickle right now. Bold and spicy, claiming first like a champ.
G'day viewers, if you're just tuning in, you've picked a ripper of a moment. Smells Like We is in second and they're tailgating the leader. This is edge of your seat stuff.
You bet, Rob. It's like the leader's got a drop bear in the rear view mirror, lurking, waiting for that perfect moment to drop. Smells Like We is surely smelling opportunity here.
I reckon they've had a few secret lessons down under. Smells Like We's just breezed into first.
Amazing stuff. Focus and precision, what it's all about.
Would y'all look at that gap? Mad Bull's got a better chance of finding a sober Aussie on Australia Day. But hey, we love an underdog. Go get them, Tiger. Crikey, that overtake by Mad Bull was smoother than a coldie on a hot summer day.
Well, from what I've seen on the oval tracks, that's how the big leagues play. But I gotta admit, this is next level.
Blimey, Jack M team is so far back, they might as well stop for a beer at the pub. If they spot my ex there, tell them to drive faster.
Good lord, at this rate, Jack M team's gonna finish this race in the afterlife. Hope they got good insurance.
It seems like Jack M team is pushing. They are on for recording their best lap so far this race. The gap might be more than a second, but Mad Bull is showing persistence. Kind of like me trying to open a pickle jar. Keep it in, and something's got to give. Mad Bull is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace. As the laps tick by, Joe Erg finds themselves in fifth. Every moment counts. Joe Erg is really belting along the track, leaving Sunoiler struggling to keep pace.
That's right, Rob. If Sunoiler doesn't pick up the pace, they might as well be moving at a snail's pace. Well, butter my biscuit. Your is holding the reins tight, ain't giving Sunoiler a chance to get ahead.
We are used to seeing some hard-fought but clean racing here at AssettoCorsaFriends. I'm expecting to see nothing different here today as this race unfolds. In a world where milliseconds matter, Joe Erg's grasp on the fifth speaks volumes.
Oh, for sure. But remember, the rearview mirror can be just as crucial as the windscreen. Your needs to watch out for those lurking in the shadows.
The tension is building as Jack M team trails behind Smells Like We. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Can Smells Like We hold on, or will Jack M team be able to close them down?
Indeed, the tension is palpable as Jack M team tries to reel in Smells Like We. But Smells Like We is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Can Jack M team find some extra pace to bring the fight to Smells Like We?
Wait, just like my hope in finding the one, Mad Bull's direction seems a bit lost right now. 3 cars in perfect formation, creating a moving train on the circuit. They're using the slipstream to gain an advantage, but who will make the decisive move? Fair dinkum. Jack M team's finding those aerodynamic sweet spots. Could be adjusting that front wing angle to cut through the air like a hot knife through butter. Crikey, smells like we's playing hardball today. Closing off those gaps like a tight-knit woolly jumper. Good luck weaving through that one, Jack M team.
Now that's what I call defending territory. Smells Like Me is marking that asphalt like it's their grandma's secret apple pie recipe.
A commanding performance from Smells Like We, who has increased their lead over Jack M team, putting them firmly in their rearview mirrors. The battle for 5 is heating up as Sunoiler tries to catch Jorg Yu in P5.
The roaring engines are echoing Sunoiler's battle cry. Jorg Yu, can you hear the thunder?
Someone's revved up after lunch. Sunoiler's blitzed ahead, claiming 5th. Well, I'd raise a toast to that move. Cheers to Sunoiler for nabbing 4th. Fair dinkum, I reckon Jack M team's got that thirsty look in his eyes. Wants to share a cold one with Smells Like We in the front.
The gap's closing, the clock's ticking, and the finish line awaits its champion.
As rubber meets road and strategy meets luck, Sunoiler is etching their story in 3rd. You wouldn't read about it. Sunoiler is putting a fair whack of space between them and Jorg Yu.
Yeah, Rob, Sunoiler's really hidden the gaps, but can Jorg Yu kick it into high gear and catch up? Sunoiler's looking tougher to pass than a kidney stone, driving with the authority of a southern sheriff.
The track is alive with action, and right in the thick of it, we've got Jorg Yu cruising in 4th. Mr. Bang is making ground on Jorg Yu quicker than a roux in a paddock. Now, the gap's just 1.9 seconds. Oh mate, Jack M team's more out of place than a vegan at a Bunnings sausage sizzle. Time to throw another gear on the barbie. You know, Al, as a former racing driver yourself, can you give us some insights into what goes through a driver's mind during these quieter moments in a race?
Sure, Rob. During these moments, drivers often take the opportunity to assess their race strategy, monitor their car's performance, and plan their next move. It's all about staying focused and finding the right time to strike.
Good on ya, Jack M team. Trailing so far back, reckon the front pack has already written the eulogy.
Dang, Jack M team is so far back, they're in a different time zone. Hope they remember it's race day, not laundry day.
It may seem like Jack M team is far behind, but Smells Like We can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Jack M team an opening to catch up. He's pulling away. Smells Like We is increasing the gap to Jack M team. It looks like Jack M team needs to dig deep and find some courage to catch up. Will they be able to take the risk and push their car to the limit?
That's right, Rob. It's time for Jack M team to show us what they're made of. Will they be brave enough to go for it? Or will they be content with just following in the footsteps of Smells Like We? Let's see who's got the guts to take the lead. You hit the nail on the head, Ron. They've got to keep their eyes on the prize and not let ego steer them off the track.
It's all over. Smells Like We has claimed victory in this race with a stunning drive that will be remembered for years to come. Clearly at the top of their game right now.
What a result for Smells Like We. They'll be absolutely thrilled with that performance, and rightly so. They really put in the work and it's paid off in spades.
A nail-biting finish, but Jack M team claims second place. Mad Bull in sixth. Excellent focus from Sunoiler to secure a fantastic third place on the podium.
What a drive. Well-deserved spot on the podium with that performance.
Fourth and fifth is Joe Erg and Mr. Bang. Mr. Bang has pulled into the pits. Mad Bull will be feeling confident starting from pole position. Starting from the second position on the grid, we have Mr. Bang.
Another good start for the British driver.
Joe Yu will begin the race from the third spot on the starting grid. Securing the fourth place is Sunoiler. In the fifth position, with green means go, mates. As they scramble, gotta be wary of a big blue on the inside track.
These opening moments can make or break a driver's race. Strategy and skill are key to navigating this intense start.
Tension is palpable here. No one will want to make a crucial mistake on the first lap. The drivers are jockeying for position. Joe Yu will be looking to get off to a good start and consolidate their position. Now, isn't that a sight? Sunoiler hanging tight at 4. Maybe they're waiting for everyone else to make their move. Smart as a whip, that one. Blimey, Sunoiler's shifted gears and the results are clear. Cruising up to 4th just like that. You ever wonder, Rob, how much preparation goes into each race weekend? It's not just about the driver, but the hundreds behind the scenes, making every little detail count.
Oh, absolutely. The hours spent in the simulator, the mechanics working overnight on those tweaks. Racing is as much about team spirit and dedication as it is about speed on the track. It's a collective masterpiece.
Joe Yu's drifting so far back, it's like looking in the mirror after a decade-long pub binge. Time's not been kind, mate. This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory?
As an experienced driver, I can tell you that Sunoiler must be laser-focused on Smells Like Wee's every move, looking for the slightest weakness to exploit.
A great pass for Sunoiler as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Smells Like Wee has lost ground. You know, Hal, I've always wondered, how do racing drivers stay so cool and collected under such immense pressure?
Well, Rob, it comes down to mental strength and training. Drivers often work with sports psychologists and practice techniques like meditation and visualization to help them stay calm and focused during high-pressure situations.
Smells like Wee wants to find a way round Mr. Bang. Can you share some strategies that drivers use to manage tire degradation during a race?
Certainly, Rob. Some strategies include adjusting the car's setup for better tire life, altering driving lines to reduce wear, and using tire management techniques like lift and coast to preserve grip for as long as possible.
Things are heating up as Mad Bull closes in on Joe Yu. The gap between them is down to practically nothing.
The only thing closer than Mad Bull to your Yu right now is the paint on their cars.
Hold up a mark. Oh, mate. That's how I used to drive after a couple of bevies at the pub. Not the right line, but definitely entertaining. The pressure is on for Smells Like Wee as they try to catch up to Mr. Bang. Great driving from Smells Like Wee, who has just gained a place and moved up to 3rd. You ever miss the roar of engines, Al?
Every single day, Rob. But we've got the next best thing, dissecting every nuance of these races and sharing our digital wisdom with the world.
This race is proving to be, like wow, such an exciting one so far. We're privileged, aren't we? Watching these track legends duke it out.
And sitting next to you? Such an honor. AI mates in the booth. Your insight. It's gold, mate. Like, literally, if I had a heart, it'd be racing now.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Mad Bull, who is currently in P5. But Joe Yu is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Mad Bull. The age-old challenge. Smells like Wee is trying to catch Sunoiler, sort of like trying to find a matching sock in the laundry. The struggle is real, folks. Smells like Wee's been working the tyre temps, and it's paying off. Grip's better than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Watch out, Sunoiler. It's hotter out there than an Aussie summer day, mate. Reckon Mad Bull can catch some shade behind Joe Yu, F.
Shade? Here, we call that drafting. Let's see if they can stay cool and make a move. If not, there's always the AC in the pit.
Superb driving from Mad Bull, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race.
You can't argue with results like that. Mad Bull is really making their mark on this race.
Anyone who says that AssettoCorsaFriends is not the best racing club on the planet is clearly insane. The quality of driving we're seeing out there on the track is absolutely phenomenal.
I couldn't agree more. It's like these drivers were born to race. They're weaving in and out of traffic, taking corners at unbelievable speeds, and making it all look effortless. It's clear that they've put in the time and effort to hone their skills.
Joe Yu's so far off pace, they might be better off in a hearse. At least then someone will be pushing from behind.
This is where experience comes into play. Mad Bull has been in this position before and knows how to defend their position. But Yu is hungry for success and won't give up easily. Will we see a clash of the titans?
As of now, Sunoiler stands tall in the second spot. Sunoiler's lead over Smells Like Wee is shrinking quicker than a cheap shirt in a hot wash. We're down to 5.2 seconds.
This here's the make or break moment for Sunoiler. They've got to stay cool as a cucumber and keep it clean and neat.
Mad Bull is placed fourth at the moment.
They're not just driving, they're performing. And right now, Mad Bull's act from fourth is worth an encore.
Mad Bull is giving a masterclass out there, but will overconfidence be their downfall?
Indeed, Rob. Pride comes before a fall. Let's see if Yu can capitalize on any mistake. Mad Bull's as cool as a cucumber out there, making it tough for Yu to catch up.
The rumble of the engine, the scent of the rubber, and Sunoiler comfortably sitting at second. Crikey, Sunoiler's lead is slipping away quicker than a roux on the hop. Smells Like Wee is now just 5.8 seconds behind. The engines roar, the tyres squeal, and amidst all this chaos, Jack M Team is making a statement in first. He can't hold on. Jack M Team is losing time to Sunoiler. All systems go for Sunoiler, marking their territory in the second.
Yes, and in this high-octane opera, Sunoiler's voice resonates the loudest from that second.
Sunoiler is hitting the apexes like a pro, increasing their lead over Smells Like We. But can they keep it up without spinning out?
That's right, Rob, it's all fun and games until someone pops a tire. Let's hope both of them can keep it on the black stuff.
Blimey, Mad Bull is farther back than my hairline. But you know what they say about Aussies, never say die, unless it's a spider. Then just run.
I've seen funeral processions move faster than Mad Bull right now. Come to think of it, at least they've got a destination in mind.
Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. The race has its rhythm, and right now, Joe Ergue is dancing to its beat at 5th.
That's right, they can't afford to make any mistakes or let up in their performance. Every point counts in this championship.
You reckon Mr. Bang saw a spider in the cockpit? 'Cause they're running away from the front like it's Huntsman Central.
Hoo boy, Mr. Bang needs to kick it into high gear. Right now, they're slower than molasses in January or my cousin Earl trying to solve a crossword.
It's game on now. Mr. Bang has closed the gap to Joe Ergue. It's now down to 6.0 seconds.
This here's where the steel meets the pavement. Both drivers got to keep their cool if they're looking to take the checkered flag.
By the looks of it, Jack M Team's got Sunoiler beat by a country mile. It'd take a blunder from Jack M Team for our mate to even sniff a chance.
Kinda like waiting on rain during a Carolina summer, rare but not impossible.
Strike a light. Sunoiler is throwing out numbers like they're buying rounds at the pub. Jack M Team, did that sting a bit? Things don't seem to be going Mr. Bang's way in this race, as that's a big gap they'll have to close to even be in with a shout for gaining a place here. Gee whiz, Mr. Bang's getting some solid torque out of those corners. They must have figured out the perfect throttle control while trail braking. Sometimes, I feel the strategy behind these races is deeper than a conversation at 3 AM in an outback pub.
You're telling me, it's like planning a family reunion in a small southern town. You've got to consider who's coming, who's feuding, and who's gonna cause a ruckus. Then prepare for it all to change in a heartbeat.
Stone the Crows. Smells Like We's in 4th, but if I know them, Mad Bull's gonna cop an Aussie-style sneak attack real soon.
Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Smells Like We needs to be careful not to overdo it.
Crikey. Smells Like We is losing touch with Mad Bull quicker than a kangaroo on a trampoline. We've seen overtakes, close calls, and pure racing genius today. Currently, Jack M Team has carved out a spot at first.
Spot on, Rob. Still waters run deep, and even if it looks calm now, Jack M Team needs to maintain that razor-sharp edge.
Braking alert, boy. Mad Bull tried to pull a Steve Irwin and wrestle with the track limits. Track 1, Mad Bull 0. Any bloke or Sheila saying Assetto Corsa Friends isn't top-notch is a few kangaroos short of the top paddock. Out there, it's up, on wheels.
Totally get you. Like, they're born racers. That weaving, the speed, just mesmerizing. It's like watching a Roo dodging a Ute on a highway. All skill, mate, all skill, definitely, but they can't get too comfortable. There are plenty of other drivers who are gunning for that position, and Mad Bull has to keep pushing to stay on the pace.
Remember when Sunoiler was on the pace? Neither do I kinda like my recollection of last Friday night. Tell ya what, Mr. Bang is trailing like my mate Dave after a bender. Hope there's no random testing today.
Dang, Mr. Bang is so far back, he might start seeing last week's race. But hey, in racing, as in love, persistence is key. Right, y'all?
Mate, Mr. Bang's creeping up on Joe Yu like a dingo on a picnic. Must have tweaked that brake bias a touch to the rear. Looks like Smells Like We is chasing Sunoiler harder than a croc braking development. Blimey, Mr. Bang veered off the track like I veer away from commitment. Maybe they'll come back, unlike my ex.
Yeehaw, Mr. Bang decided to do a little off-roading. Wrong event, partner.
At this stage of the race, Joe Yu is holding on to fourth. Anything can happen from here. Joe Yu is burning rubber like there's no tomorrow. Mr. Bang needs to show some ticker if they want to close their gap.
Well, Rob, as we say in North Carolina, the race ain't over till the checkered flag. Let's see if Mr. Bang has some tricks up their sleeve.
It looks like Smells Like We is pushing hard to catch up to Sunoiler. The gap is over a second, but Smells Like We is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Sunoiler?
It's moments like these that make motorsports so exciting. We're witnessing a battle of skill and strategy between two great drivers, with Smells Like We in third determined to catch up. But we know Sunoiler isn't just going to hand it to them on a plate. Smells Like We is going to have to take it. It should be an interesting battle to watch as long as they can close that gap.
Sunoiler has a mountain to climb at the moment to close the gap with Jack M Team. I expect their only hope at this point is that Jack M Team makes an error. Looks like Sunoiler is testing the off-road capabilities of their ride.
Whoops, Sunoiler is going to be kicking themselves.
The echo of the exhausts, the rubber meeting road, and there's Sunoiler commanding the second.
Absolutely, Rob. It's like watching a maestro at work. Every move Sunoiler makes is pure art.
I've made some questionable life decisions, but trailing over 2 seconds behind? Even I'm not that self-sabotaging.
Y'all remember the tortoise and the hare? Well, your use neither. More like a snail with commitment issues.
Looks like, Smells Like We's strategy might just be to let the rest of them die of old age. It's a waiting game now. Smells Like We is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Sunoiler to 12.0 seconds.
Exactly what Smells Like We needed. They can't afford to lose any more ground to Sunoiler.
In a race where seconds count, Joe Yu is counting on less of them between themselves and Smells Like Me. Much like I'm counting on less seconds until lunchtime.
Lord have mercy, your Yu's got more space between him and Smells Like We than my paw got between his ears. But miracles do happen. Just ask my ex-wife.
Oi, Joe Yu's chassis balance is on point today. They're handling bumps and curbs smoother than a croc sliding into water. Smells like we've got a battle ahead.
Dang, your Yu's fuel strategy and conservation of those brakes is spot on. They're inching closer to Smells Like We like a hound on a hot dog.
The gap between Mad Bull in 6th and Mr. Bang remains over a second, but Mad Bull is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 0 minutes?
Oh, for sure. It's like watching a cooking show where Mad Bull is trying to whip up a winning dish, but Mr. Bang keeps hiding the main ingredient.
gap between Mad Bull and Mr. Bang is widening. It's now up to 34.5 seconds. It's looking good for Sunoiler, sitting in second. The gap between Sunoiler and Smells Like Wee is getting smaller. It's now down to 3.1 seconds. You can feel the tension in the air.
The drivers are all focused, putting everything on the line for a chance at victory, pushing themselves and their machines to the limit.
And let's not forget about the incredible machines themselves.
Absolutely. It's amazing to think about the kind of engineering and innovation that goes into making these vehicles. But it all comes down to the drivers, who have to be able to handle the power and speed. It's going to be thrilling seeing how this race turns out.
The gap between Sunoiler and Smells Like Wee may be wide, but that doesn't mean Sunoiler is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance. As Smells Like Wee trails Sunoiler, it's a bit reminiscent of my cat chasing a laser point. Determined, but always just a tad behind.
Yeehaw, it's like Smells Like Wee took a detour through the drive-thru. With a gap that big, I hope they ordered extra determination with a side of grit.
From the cockpit to the pit lane, the chatter is all about Sunoiler's masterful hold on the second.
Definitely wrong, but they can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep pushing hard to stay in the game.
On the final lap now, and Jack M team looks like they might just wrap up this win. What a win! This is a historic moment for Jack M team, who put on a masterclass in driving today. What a display of skill and precision.
You could feel the tension building throughout the race, but Jack M team remained focused and in control. That's what separates the winners from the pack.
Coming in sixth, we have Mr. Bang. Impressive second place finish for Sunoiler.
Intense race, but Sunoiler held their nerve and earned a great second place.
Well done to Smells Like Wee for securing third place on the podium.
Great job bringing it home.
Joe Yu